without further ado, let's bring on Alex from COP TV.
Yes, gents. How are we?
We're all good, Alex. How are you, my friend?
I'm very well. Thanks for having me on, man. I really appreciate it. I've been watching you guys from afar across the years, and it's nice to finally link up, man.
Yeah, man. Really nice to have you on. Obviously, a massive game this weekend for both clubs. Yeah. You're going for the league title. We're going for top 4. How are you feeling coming into this game?
Yeah, feeling good. And before anyone gets into it and says, where's this Scouse accent? I live in Liverpool, literally opposite the Albert Docks, and my mum's from Liverpool, as all my family are.
Just to get that out there before anyone says it.
It's easier to get it done now because I can see the comments coming in already. But no, listen, it's always a big game when Tottenham come to town. In terms of how it's gone down in the last few years, I mean, no win in 10 years, I think, for Tottenham, or around the 2011-12
Thanks for reminding us, Alex.
Listen, I'm gonna hit you with the facts. The facts are that it's always difficult.
We don't like facts over here at Tottenham.
We like delusional dreams.
Listen, I'm from the school of Rafa Benitez, where we talk about the facts. So difficult game as always. I mean, it's always been close. I can't really remember the last time we pummeled you at Anfield, but you know, maybe it's slightly arrogant coming from our side, but whoever comes to Anfield, we expect to win. But having said that, Tottenham, a dangerous team to play right now. I mean, Kulusevski's impressed me so much. Bentancur has as well. It's just the inconsistency for Tottenham that's just been consistent, really. So,
you know, that's been for about 20 years, Alex.
Around that time,
yeah. Look, for some reason, whenever we go to Anfield, there's some sort of curse on us that we usually play well. We usually get a goal up or so. We usually miss a massive chance, like a one-on-one or like an open goal or something. Yeah. Lucas Moura,
Sissoko, Sonny, you know.
I remember when Sissoko went through on goal, he blazed over the bar, and then what happens is we screw our chances, and you somehow get a winner in the last minute. It happens every single time. And is that something you, as Liverpool fans, you've noticed as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's not just Tottenham. It happens a lot. But I think you make your own luck. And I think you guys would agree that as well. If it was you that was going for the title every year, you'd be getting certain rubs of the green, as it were. That Sissoko one was unbelievable because he's clear on goal. And Van Dijk jockeys him so he's on his left. And he almost says, listen, I'm not even going to come near you. I'm going to jockey you so you can't get on your right. But go on, have a shot. Let's see what you do. And it goes over the bar. And I think there was an own goal in that game, and it trickles over the line.
Yeah.
So, Liverpool, really Tottenham's bogey team. And it seems like whenever we play you at Anfield, like I said, it's close as anything. But there's always something that happens, whether that be an injury or a last-minute winner. I mean, I was at the game where we drew 2-2, and you guys got a massive fortunate decision to get that penalty at the end and the ref just looked over to his line and went, I'm going to give the penalty. Do you remember that?
I remember. So, you heard the conversation on the touchline, yeah. He's like, I don't know what happened, but I'm going to give the penalty.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So, listen, there's been times when Spurs have got the rub of the green as well, and obviously our friendly rivalry kind of came to a peak in 2019. And do you know what? Through being in Madrid, through having all my family in Madrid, not one person had a bad word to say about the Spurs fans. It was a beautiful final, and well, it wasn't a beautiful final. Maybe it was for us, but it wasn't for the neutral. But no, good words that were said about Tottenham in terms of having.
Alex, for our peace of mind, you can admit it wasn't a handball against Sissoko, right?
Well, the ref gave it though, didn't he?
No, you can admit. You can admit
the ref gave that penalty at Anfield as well. Don't you forget?
Not the same ref.
Give us some catharsis as Tottenham fans. Just admit
I don't
it for
think
us.
I
It wasn't a
admit
handball.
it, boys. I don't think I ever can. I mean, where it hits him is it the new rule that's come in is the t-shirt ruling, right?
That wouldn't be a handball in today's game.
It wouldn't be a handball.
Correct. Yeah.
Listen, if there was VAR, England wouldn't have won the World Cup. You can go back and back and back. It is what it is, boys. What can I say?
Look, obviously, we're still very bitter about it till today.
We're not getting to 3 Champions League finals in 5 years, all right? Give us a break.
But look, Alex, coming into the game, obviously, you had quite a taxing game against Villarreal in midweek in the Champions League. Unbelievable performance in that second half. Are you expecting a similar team, or do you think anyone will be rested or dropped or anything like that?
Well, I actually don't see Henderson starting this one, and I've been the person pretty much in the last 5-6 years that says Henderson starts every game without question. But for this game, my midfield would be Keita, Thiago, and Fabinho, only because I think you rest Henderson or bring him on in that game, but you rest to start him for the FA Cup final next week. And we've obviously got Aston Villa on Tuesday, so I think you keep him fresh for that. But I can see a couple of changes. The thing is with Liverpool, and I was chatting to my dad earlier, I was on Sky Sports News this morning talking about West Ham's small squad and how it's made them kind of run out of steam. And I said if they had 2 or 3 more players, they would. And unfortunately, again, sound arrogant, sound whatever, but fortunately, because we boosted our squad in January and with Kante, our second string team now can pretty much have a go, if not beat anyone. Genuinely, it's that good. So yes, I can see changes. I can see Kante coming in. I would even maybe give Tsimikas a go. I could see Keita coming in. Diaz will start. Can't see Mane and Salah starting this one. Bobby Firmino is back in training. And the one thing that I've learned through watching Liverpool under the Klopp era is that he does change the team a lot. There is rarely a time where he keeps the same 11 for 2 games in a row. So changes will happen, but will it affect the outcome? Who knows?
If you cast your mind back to the game, I think it was in November time, one of Conte's early games, that obviously finished 2-2 on the day. But was that, do you think, an example of how you could potentially create a numerous amount of chances against a Jurgen Klopp team? And is that that kind of performance you're worried about, knowing that Conte has done that already? And obviously we beat Man City at the Etihad early in the season as well. So we have form. Exactly. We have form for, putting big performances against big sides already this season. So does that worry you a bit?
Yeah, it does. And that's why, again, I know us come on here and say this and that, but it will be a difficult game. It really will. It's never an easy game against Tottenham. I can't remember one. Maybe apart from that 5-0 at White Hart Lane, but that was a one-off, to be honest. You mentioned the old red card for, what was his name? Paulinho kicking Suarez in the chest.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. But no, as you mentioned there, I think those big performances that Tottenham have had away from home, especially the Etihad, are impressive. And there's nothing really to say that Tottenham won't come to Anfield and put in a really impressive performance. But with Tottenham, it's always, you can do that, but where's the result at the end of it? 6 times out of 10 with Spurs, you might get, the fortunate result for you guys. But that other 4 out of 10 worries me in terms of a Tottenham perspective where, yes, you have real big moments in the game where you score 2 goals against us, you create a lot of chances, but you have to take them against Liverpool. And if Tottenham can do that with the prolific strikers, the killers that I call them up front, then we're in big trouble. Really are. Because if Kane turns up, if Kulusevski turns up, if Sonny turns up, I mean, Sonny scored a great goal at Anfield last season. And actually, Sonny, for me, I've been saying it since Hazard was in the league as well. If there's one player that I take from Tottenham, it's Sonny. I actually love this player. I think he's unbelievable as a person, as a player, everything. And I actually think he'd love to come to Liverpool one day too. But no, listen, dangerous players all over the pitch for Spurs. It's just, can you take the chances at Anfield with fans in, by the way, because there was no fans last year.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because last year, I think we showed the kind of blueprint, maybe how to play at Anfield. Steven Bergwijn missing a host of chances
what a chance he missed,
in the last game. I mean, surely if we take our chances this game, we've got a massive chance of taking all 3 points. And if we do take all 3 points, do you think that kisses your title chances goodbye?
Yeah, of course it does. Yeah, if you do come to Anfield and win, everyone's going to write off Liverpool. The annoying thing would be if you won and City drew or something like that, which would just shoot ourselves in the foot. And again, it doesn't surprise me that Tottenham get these big results. Look at the players that you've got on paper; these are excellent players. I know a lot of Spurs fans don't like the look of Emerson Royale, but again, played for Barcelona. Real Betis was excellent there. So the individuals are there for Tottenham. It's just, can you take your chances? And to be honest with you, we haven't lost at home with fans in the stadium for 5 years now.
I'm holding on to the law of averages, my friend. Surely something's got to come through for us once. You know what I mean?
Maybe next year, maybe the year after.
So last season doesn't count, I'm guessing.
Okay.
All right.
Are we doing that?
Also, an interesting point as well is a tale of two signings, because we obviously were going for Luis Diaz in January. Looked like we'd agreed a deal until Liverpool pipped us at the post. We went and got Kulusevski, who's kind of been a bit of a revelation for us anyway. But obviously, tell us about the impact Luis Diaz has had on Liverpool and how good a player he is.
Oh, he's an unbelievable player, boys. And if I was Tottenham, I'd be absolutely fuming that he'd never signed that contract. Apparently, you had the contract signed. You had the contract drafted, and then you sent that contract to Bentancur, and it had Luis Diaz's name on it. So he was like, "Hang on, what?" I'm not too sure about that.
From what I heard is that that Spurs and Benfica, I think, done the deal. Was it Benfica? Porto, sorry. Yeah. Porto done the deal, right? And then their agents knew Liverpool were interested in for quite a while, and then they put all that out to the press, and then Liverpool came and swooped in.
It was a nasty kind of savage hijacking of the deal, wasn't it? Because if you're Liverpool and you see someone, let's not forget, we've been scouting this guy for 2 seasons now.
Yeah.
If we hear the guy that we really want is about to go to Tottenham, then all of our plans about let's wait till the summer and buy him then, they all go out the window. And then you think, well, hang on, if Tottenham are going to buy him now, then we have to play our cards, put our cards on the table and let him know that we want him, and we want him now instead of the summer. That move, maybe, by Tottenham not signing him, could potentially allow us. I mean, he scored semi-final, he man of the match in the League Cup final. He'll definitely play in the Champions League final. That move alone could have actually won us more trophies. So Tottenham, thank you.
Well, we could argue
you're not very welcome.
Well, Alex, I could argue very much thank you, because in 11 starts for Kulusevski, he's got 8 assists and 3 goals. And he's actually got more goal contributions so far than Diaz has since both of them have come to the league.
So if you're looking at it on paper, which is the better January signing, it's a very strong debate. Kulusevski, I have to say, I've been so impressed. He doesn't look like he should play Premier League football, if I'm honest. I don't know what he looks like. I can't put my finger on the profession that he looks like he should have, but it's definitely not a wing forward for Tottenham. Trust me, this guy looks all over the gaff. But when he got a ball at his feet, he looks very impressive. So, you could easily say, well, thank you, because we got him instead. So, yeah, it's a head-to-head on who's been the better January signing. Obviously, I'm going to say Diaz. But again, time will tell, won't it?
It's very interesting if you look at the trajectories of both clubs, of Liverpool and Spurs, because obviously Liverpool were very similar to where Tottenham were maybe a few years ago, where you had obviously lost the Champions League final, you were going very close for league titles, just missing out. Very similar to us, obviously. We were losing in finals as well in Champions League. We also went on very close to getting a couple of titles, just missing out. But whereas Liverpool kicked on, we kind of stagnated and faltered and went the other direction. But from a Liverpool perspective, where do you think you've got it right, whereas we didn't? What do you think we had to do, which you did?
I don't think you can just do what we did. It takes 3 to 4 to 5 years to build up to a moment like this. And what we've seen from Liverpool and City since, I would say, 2018. You know the game we lost against you guys, 4-1 at Wembley, right?
Yeah.
Genuinely, since that game, everything changed. Every single thing about the club changed. Deadwood was got rid of. The unity between the manager, the fans and the players is something I've never, ever seen before with any team, man. And once you've got all those 3 main pillars of the club singing off the same hymn sheet, things become really impossible for other teams to beat us. I mean, I've never seen in my life such a well-oiled club in terms of recruitment. And again, listen, I've gone through years. I've just seen a post there. 10 years ago today, we lost 1-0 at home to Fulham. We finished 8th. Donny in goal. Maxi Rodriguez, that is. Carroll and Kite up front. Now, I love Dirk Kite, but look how far we've come in the last 10 years. And obviously since Klopp, I would say, again, that game at Tottenham changed everything for Liverpool. And the recruitment obviously has been sensational. We haven't missed when it comes to not only just signing the players, it's the guys in the back rooms that are signing these players for us. They're the best at what they do. So the recruitment, combined with the fact that everyone loves the club, there's such an amazing feeling going on, and the fact that we're very good. I mean, all those 3 mixed in together, and you're looking at an unstoppable force. And that's what we feel like we are at the minute.
Yeah, and I think that's the main thing, isn't it? Because I think that when I'm looking at Liverpool's recruitment policy, I mean, literally the best recruitment policy I've ever seen, because you're the only club I've ever seen that don't make mistakes in the transfer window.
Especially when they're getting big money.
We used to.
Yeah, you definitely used to. Yeah, you did. But now it's just crazy.
It's for the money that we get them for as well, boys.
Yeah.
We're not exactly breaking the bank to sign the Jotas, the Kanates, the Diazes, the Thiagos. And these aren't, maybe with the exception of Thiago, who I'd actually say is the biggest signing we've ever made in our history in terms of buying a player who's already achieved it all in the game. We've never bought a superstar ready-made. We buy the Salahs, the Manes, the Firminos and build them up, the Coutinhos. But when we bought Thiago, we just signed someone who's man of the match in the Champions League a few months before, won it with Bayern, won every league to win in Spain and Germany. So when you buy someone like him, that really sets down the marker that we don't miss with signings, and you've seen it so many times, man.
Yeah. Whereas we definitely do.
Yes.
You find
that's been a big problem
frustrating
for
with
us.
Tottenham. It's frustrating because I see you buy players like
You're a Liverpool
Bergwijn.
fan, you're telling me.
Well, no, but as a footballing person, right? When I see Tottenham put some big money next to these signings, you almost feel like actually they might have got a few of these right. And then 6 months down the line, the Brian Gills, the Bergwijns, they've all kind of gone. And then you kind of re-up and you go again. And it seems like this fresh batch that you've got is Bentancur, Kulusevski and Romero, by the way, border. Yeah. These three, you've hit the jackpot with these three. So this is probably the first time in a couple of years where I've actually thought that Tottenham's recruitment has been bang on, and the manager as well. What an achievement to get him in. But yeah,
let's just hope he stays. Let's just hope he stays.
Yeah. But having said that about Tottenham's kind of new recruitment policy under Fabio Paratici, how do you assess kind of how Tottenham have been this season, and how far do you think Tottenham can go if we carry on this kind of recruitment in the way that we're doing it with Antonio Conte?
Well, listen, to do well, you've got to have a good team and a great manager. You've got both of them. So there's no reason why Tottenham can't really take this and really challenge. I mean, where do you think is realistic? Should you be finishing third with this team and this manager? Let's assume that you carry on playing well. Let's say you get the Champions League. Where do you think? I mean, it's easy for me to say. I think Tottenham are still obviously a while off of us and City, so that would put you in third place.
Yeah.
But where's realistic for you?
That's the thing. Yeah, third is probably the place where you're saying we're not that delusional to aim for it. But Conte doesn't fight for third. You know, that's not what he wants. He wants the title. That's what he wants, trophies. That's what he's had his whole career. That's what he keeps banging on about ever since he's joined Tottenham. He said, "Look, this season top four will be like a trophy, but I'm not here to be top four. I'm not here to be runner up. I'm here to win."
Respect that.
But whether he'll have the patience to get us to that level is another question, because he's a notoriously impatient guy, and that's the question.
Is. And you've only given him a short contract, so to even get to the next stage of the next great recruitment, the next big points tally, you need to sign him up. Forget signing anyone else up. I mean, Conte now,
that's true.
He has actually, I think, been giving everything he needs to give this league and next season a real big shot. So yeah, unless you can really convince him, tie him down to a new deal that's a little bit more ambitious, maybe a three-year deal, a fresh 3-year deal would work. If he can't do anything at the end of that, then obviously you part ways. But I do think if you get this summer is so crucial for Tottenham. You have to get top four, and you have to bring in the right players. If you don't, Conte's gone, and the whole plan that you built up for the last 6 months is all over, and it's square one again.
Yeah.
So the next few months, man, it is so crucial for Tottenham.
Alex, as a Liverpool fan, looking at Tottenham versus Arsenal, who do you think's in a better position right now?
I'd hate to say it, boys. I'm on the wrong channel here. I think it's Arsenal.
Wow.
You know my ties with Mr. DR, so no, I'm only joking.
Oh, I see. He's slipped you something.
He's got me in the paper.
We've got enemies infiltrating. I see.
Money he's received.
I would say it's still Arsenal, but that's not to say that Arsenal can't Arsenal it up still, and Tottenham could Tottenham it up still. I can't call it. I reckon it's genuinely 51% Arsenal getting it, 49 to you, because anything can happen in these last 3 or 4 games. If Tottenham get it, won't be surprised. If Arsenal get it, won't be surprised, because they're both big clubs and they should both be in the Champions League, really. But someone has to miss out. So if you're asking me to put my hat down now, on a team, I reckon it would be Arsenal. But prove me wrong, boys. It's up to you.
We will prove you wrong, Alex. We're going to prove you wrong. Don't you worry about
Not tomorrow.
that.
Don't prove me wrong tomorrow.
If we do get a result this weekend, does that change your opinion then?
Oh, that's a question. I mean, if you get a result this weekend, the last thing I'll be caring about is the race for the top four, to be honest with you, boys. If you get let's say you win at Anfield, let's say Arsenal lose, then I would say you're in pole position, but then you've got to play Arsenal.
Yeah.
And that's normally a draw. So,
no, usually what happens is we beat them at home and they beat us to the Emirates. So usually if they're coming to our... No, it's our place. So...
Oh, yeah. If you beat them and us, then yeah, you're nailed on. And if you don't get it, shame on you if you don't get it after those 2 wins.
Absolutely.
You really have to look at yourself.
Absolutely. But just before we get into the predictions, I want to talk about BetMate, obviously a fantasy football gaming app. You can win money this week for the Liverpool v Tottenham League. It's a £5 entry, a minimum payout of £500, where the top 7 players do get paid out. Really enjoying playing this game over the last week.
Definitely
Sim has won a nice £200 on which game was it?
On the Madrid Man City game.
200 quid you won,
I won 200 quid off the Madrid Man City. I finished top. Unbelievable.
You know
what a team.
I'm very good at prediction/fantasy things, but I was really disappointed. Last week, we're sponsored by BetMate as well in the COP TV. And because I lost in the fantasy league to Matty Renton, who's obviously a Newcastle fan, I actually have to wear a Newcastle shirt in the next video. So I've got to go and get that.
At least it's not an Everton or a Man United shirt.
No, I've said to the BetMate guys, if you ever dare trying to put me up against a Chelsea fan and wearing a Chelsea's the one for me, boys. I don't know about you. Chelsea is the one for me that I hate the most. And that goes ahead of United and Everton, by the way.
That's mad, but I would never wear, under any circumstances, Arsenal, Chelsea, or West Ham. I mean, it's those three clubs.
Quite inoffensive, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. They might not be in a few years,
though. Yeah, maybe
were.
not, quite literally. But it's going to be a tough one, man. BetMate's a great app, though, I have to say. I lost on it last week, but we'll probably go through my team now. I'm quite confident. And I've got reasons as well. So let's
all right, we'll get through the teams, but obviously if you want to join the league or download the app, the link is in the description below, so do go and check that out. But let's bring on Alex's team first. Let's check out Alex's team and go on, let's bring that up.
So how it works is you choose 7 players, a goalkeeper, 2 defenders, 2 midfielders and 2 strikers, and you get double points for your captain, 1.5 points for your vice captain, and it's a different scoring system because you get points for tackles and your interceptions as well as goals and assists. But let's see your team. Alisson in goal, Romero, Alexander-Arnold, Thiago, Keita, Salah captain, and Son. So you've gone for Son, so you are worried about Son.
Son at vice captain as well. I love
that. So do you want to hear my tactics and my reasonings, right?
Yes,
so Alisson in goal, obviously, it's just ridiculous to suggest anything else. 10 clean sheets in his last 11. Joke. Right, so what I'm trying to be a bit clever about this. So obviously I lost in the mini league last week. We won the game, which is obviously the most important thing, but I lost this. So how I'm going to change it this week is by protecting myself. The good thing about BetMate is you get points for tackles and interceptions, right?
Yeah.
So when I thought of that, I thought, well, if we get points for tackles and interceptions, there might as well be a Spurs player in there, because Liverpool at home, you can assume that we're going to attack more. You guys will have to defend more tackles and interceptions. So let me put Romero in. Beast, yeah? I know he tried something funny in the last Liverpool game that we played you, but I've forgiven him for that. I think he did something. I can't remember. He stamped on someone or did something.
He's a pure shithouse, Romero. He's a pure shithouse.
Yeah, but I like that. That's cool with me. I'm like that when I play, so that's fine. So I've got him in there. I've got Trent in there purely because in fantasy football, you'd be silly to pick a defender that doesn't get assists/goals. And Trent versus who will be on your left?
Sonny, probably.
So that's a good battle. So again, there could be a lot of tackles and interceptions there for Trent. In the midfield, like I alluded to earlier, I don't think Henderson starts this one, and his general replacement has been Kante, who, let's not forget, scores the winner last weekend against Newcastle to keep us in the title race. Has a great game midweek as well. So Kante goes in on merit. Thiago goes in because the man tackles, the man headers, the man runs box to box. He floats balls over, he pings balls in, he punts. He's just genuinely the best footballer technically in Liverpool's team, Thiago Alcantara, without question.
Wow.
So again, here's me protecting myself by thinking Spurs normally do get a goal at Anfield. They don't win the game, but they normally get a goal. And I think Sonny is probably the most likely to score that goal. I can't see Kane running in behind. I can't see Kulusevski massively running in behind, but Son runs in behind. Normally through balls by Kane. So if Sonny scores and we win the game, I won't be too upset because one, he's my vice captain, and two, I do think he might have a goal involvement. So Sonny, vice captain today, and obviously your PFA Football Writers Association Player of the Year, Mohamed Salah, also gets in there as well as captain. So that's my team, boys.
And he loves the goal against Spurs, doesn't he?
And he loves the goal against Spurs, and every single player on the bench is Spurs. So
yeah. All right, let's see how we picked our teams, and we'll give you our reasonings behind what we chose. Let's go for Sims first, and then
all right, my first.
Go on, you can do your explanation.
Obviously, this comes from the experience of already having won a BetMate, finishing first, £200. So this is an expert talking
from the horse's mouth.
From the horse's mouth. I've gone for bring on my team. I've got Hugo Lloris in goal because he makes a lot of saves. I did this with Madrid as well because Courtois made about 6 or 7 saves, and you get 1 point for each save they make. Yeah. So if Liverpool aren't going to keep a clean sheet, you might be better off getting Lloris in goal. Romero obviously makes a lot of tackles. Trent Alexander-Arnold is very good for a goal or an assist and stuff like that. I've got Kulusevski, who's going to play as a forward, and he's in midfield, so could get extra forward points there. And he's quite a tough tackling forward player, likes to press. Obviously, Thiago makes more tackles than you would think, so he could be one and could bring an assist. And I've gone for I went for Romero. I'm going to change that. I think I'm going to go for Mane vice captain. I think I'm going Romero vice, but Son captain because I think he's going to be the one getting most of our chances. And for me, I think Mane is Liverpool's most informed forward right now, and he could be playing in a central role because Diaz on the left, Salah on the right. You could be playing Mane in a false nine, and that could bring him up in the goals. I think he's playing very well, and he's really adapted to that central role really well. So I've got Mane up front for me. So that's my team.
All right, well, that is Sim's team. What do you think about that, Alex? What do you reckon about that team?
Obviously, Tottenham heavy, isn't it? But you'd expect that from We Are Tottenham TV. No, I like your point about Mane. The beautiful thing about any forward player that plays for Liverpool is you know that they can play across the three there. You often see Diaz starting on the wide left, making a run really central. You often see Salah coming inside. So anyone can play across that front three. Don't forget, although Mane probably will play, Jota can easily play there, and so can Bobby, who really has had that role himself for the last few years. So it's a good team. Whether it wins is another story.
Well, the real winner is going to come up next. This is my team.
Football's always the winner, though, isn't it?
100%. But bring up my team. I've gone for Alisson in goal. So I think that actually my brother's point on Hugo Lloris could be warranted because he can make a tackle or two rushing out from goal as well, which we'll get a few points from. I don't think either. No, you don't want to see that, but I don't think either goalkeeper is going to make a clean sheet this game. I think it will be both teams to score. But anyway, I've gone for Alisson just for argument's sake. Romero, I think that's been covered pretty much by all of us. We've all got him in his team. I've gone for Robertson instead of Trent just because I think Robertson is more likely to make the interceptions and the tackles and stuff like that. So I think he'll be getting more points in that sense. I got Kulusevski in the midfield as vice captain. Obviously a midfielder on the game, but he'll be playing up front for Spurs on the right-hand side. Højbjerg I've gone for in the middle, which is an interesting one because he always makes a host of interceptions, a host of tackles, and I think his work is definitely going to be cut out for him in this game, that's for sure. So I think he can grab himself a number of points, and he's getting an average of 7 points a game in this Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. So I think he's definitely a good pick there. And then up front, I've gone for Mo Salah, who obviously loves a goal against Tottenham, and Heung-min Son as my captain, who's going to have a lot of space in behind to hurt Liverpool. And I think he's probably going to be our biggest weapon to really hurt you on the day. So, that's my team. That's my team. What do you reckon about that?
I think the point you make on Højbjerg is really important. And this is why BetMate is different from other companies, because you're getting... I think when people think of fantasy football, you think of, get the strikers in as many points as possible. But this one's a bit different. You're actually rewarded sometimes for the more defensive players that you have in the team. And there's other ways to pick points up in this. So, I quite like that. I think it's sensible. I do. Yeah.
All right, big up. So just before we let you go, Alex, let's get our predictions in. And let's start off with you, Alex. What is your prediction for the game?
Tough. Listen, Liverpool score goals. So it's 2 or 3 for Liverpool, if I'm honest. But it's definitely 1 for Tottenham, at least 1. If you look at Villarreal, managed to score 2 against us the other night, and their attacking threat was really not something I was worried about. But after half an hour, I'm thinking, oh my Christ, what's about to happen here? So Villarreal scored 2 against us, which is quite ironic actually, because like I said, the last 10 league games we haven't conceded a goal. But if there's one team, and again this is a compliment to Tottenham, if there's one team that can score against us at Anfield, it's Tottenham. And I expect you to give us way more problems than United did at home. I expect you to give us way more problems than Arsenal did at home. Way more problems than Chelsea even did at home at Anfield. So if you look at the top 4 teams, I'm saying that Tottenham have a better chance of scoring than United, Arsenal, Chelsea, and maybe even City, to be honest with you, at Anfield. So that's a big compliment to you, and I do think you'll score. But again, I'm going to go with 2 to 3-1.
2 to 3-1. All right, Sim, what you go for?
3-1. Why not?
I think we both teams are desperate for a win. Should make for a really open and exciting game. I think there'll be chances at both ends. I think we will get chances and we will get a goal or 2. I don't see us keeping Liverpool out the way they're playing on the team they are. So I think it's going to be one of my heart's saying like we're going to somehow snatch a victory, but I think it'll be a 2-2 draw. I think Liverpool are too strong to keep him out. But I think the way they played, Liverpool don't change for anyone. And that will suit us because it means we'll have space to play with. So I do think we'll get chances, but we're not going to be able to keep him out. So I'm going 2-2.
Yeah, I'm going... Look, I'm here. The game's tomorrow. We're travelling up to Anfield tomorrow, so I have to stay confident and try and stay positive. I know this is one of our most difficult games of the season, but I'm actually going to go 3-2 to Spurs on this one. I know we have to get a win at Anfield for the first time in a long time. I think we've only won 3 times there in the whole Premier League era.
Years? Can you name all the years?
I know one of them is 2011.
2011, I think 98, 98 and 93, I think.
Ooh, okay.
I think at 93, but I'm not too sure about that one.
Carlo Cudicini was in goal last time we played. We won.
Yeah, Van der Vaart. And anyway, but I'm going for 3-2. I think that Klopp said it, didn't he, after the Villarreal game? He said, Liverpool need a win. Spurs are a very good counter-attacking side, and sometimes that is not a good mix. So I'm just clinging on to that fact, and I think we will get our chances. And it's just a matter of a fact if we take our chances. If we take our chances, I think we can get a positive result. But history does tell you that we don't take our chances at Anfield, but this year will be different, like I say every year. But
fair enough.
I'm going for 3-2. My brother's going for 2-2. Alex is going for either 2-1 or 3-1. Let me know your score predictions in the comments section below. But Alex, thank you so much for coming on today. It's been great chatting to you about the game and Spurs Liverpool in general, and we'll see you soon.
Nice one, Alex. That's
Big up, Alex.
Go check out the COP TV for all the great Liverpool content. Obviously, hopefully some upset Liverpool fans after a Spurs victory tomorrow, but we'll have to wait and see. But go check out the COP TV. Great stuff they got going on there.